creatives, I'm Rita Bearcat and this is Mixed Media Monday. So today we're going to talk about, we're going to work in our art journal and talk about fall and fall colors and collage and how to bring that all together. And don't worry, because this is super simple, you can totally do this, and hopefully it inspires you to do something of your own. So tonight we're doing this, and then stay tuned for the end because I have an announcement that I want to share with you, so make sure to stick around all the way to the end. Okay, let's take a look at my desk. So here I have some different papers. They're just random scrap paper that I have. It could be any type of paper that you have, collage paper or any type of pattern paper. It really doesn't matter. I'm using some sprays. So these are dye inks. The one is gold, which is really fun, has a lot of shimmer in it. And I'm taking them right on top of the papers. The reason why is because I want it to all be cohesive when I put the project together. And it really didn't matter. That's why I was saying the pattern didn't really matter, because we're just adding a lot of color to it and we're going to tear it up anyways for our collage. Now I do want to stick with the fall colors, so I'm using an orange, a red, and a gold. And I will use a little bit of a citrine color on the top of my journal pages. So when you're using dye inks, know that it does dye your fingers a little bit, so it's a little messy. If you have a problem with that, just letting you know. So do cover your desk area as well. I do tend to get messy. I love the drips. I love moving it around, playing with it and seeing what patterns just show up by random spraying. I really love when the colors pull into an area. It just really makes for very interesting patterns. So if you are impatient like me, you can use a heat gun and just dry these pages, or you can hang them up or set them aside to dry as you work on something else, and then come back to this. But we do need those pieces dry for the next step. So these are now dry and they look so pretty. I wanted to show you them before I start tearing them up, and to let you know that this is also a way to create a beautiful background for your art. You can just spray some different colors and let them pool, pick them up, slide them around, and let the colors run into each other, and they just make for a beautiful backdrop. Now that we have our collage papers done, we can work on our art journal. Now I do want to add a little color to the background, especially if it shows in the end product. So I'm adding a little bit of a citrine color. It was really pulling in the middle of my journal, so I just kind of flattened it and pulled it out, and I'm just trying to spread that around so that it's not just soaking in the center of my journal, and taking a little paintbrush and just flicking it out. Now I know it's really hard to see, but what is very cool is that because it's a spray and because it's a dye, it takes to the paper right away. And this is mixed media paper in my art journal. And the splatter that the spray makes still show up even though I spread that apart with a paintbrush. So I'm taking now all the pieces that I painted with the sprays, and I am tearing them up. And I know you're probably going, what is she doing? It's okay, we're going to use them. So this is a really awesome way to just kind of get out of the box, get out of your thinking. You could even make a shape. With fall, you could make a pumpkin using torn up little pieces of paper. So it's really just playing and working with a different medium and just trying to make something come together. So I'm using gel medium to stick this down. You can use Mod Podge if you have that. That works really well. and I'm just tearing pages as I go, just making, I mean, totally random. I am making sure that the pages can still fold, right? Because, you know, that it is an art journal, and so I don't want it to rip the first time that we open or close the book. Some of the pieces I wrinkle up, and some of the pieces I lie them flat. It really doesn't matter to me. I like texture. If you like more of a flat page, you can make it completely flat, and you can add another layer of gel medium or Mod Podge right on top if you want to make sure that it's totally flat, or at least that all the pieces are layered down. I liked some of the pieces. They're not loose. I would say they're anchored, but part of it is sticking up or is a little loose, and I'm okay with that because I love texture. So that's really a personal preference. It's up to you. And if you haven't done this, I would say try it both ways and see what you like. And I would try it a few times before you give up on it, because I will say the very first time I was in a class and somebody suggested tearing my paper, and I just was so, I don't know, I just couldn't even do it. And I'm like, what? You want me to tear my paper up? And I just couldn't do it. So I totally get it. It is not a big deal, but I would tell you at least try it, because now I absolutely love it. And we are creating just layers and layers. And at first I wasn't really thinking about what I could do with this, but right now looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, you know, this would be kind of cool to tuck in some little pumpkins. I could make a little pumpkin patch, but I ended up doing something different with it, so just keep watching. So once I got all of my layers done, I don't know why. Originally, I was thinking about putting a sunset on the top. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to make that sun a heart. So I put some pieces together. That's what I'm doing right now. And now I'm just tearing it down to a heart shape. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but, you know, it works. So I put some gel medium on the back and put that into place. And I kind of liked that. Kind of fun. So I was still feeling like it needed a little something more, so I grabbed some gold paste. This is just a texture paste that's already in the gold color, and a stencil, and I'm just putting some random flowers here and there. They're not perfect because remember, I've got a lot of texture on there, but at least it adds a little bit more texture and a little bit more shine because of that thick gold paste. So there is texture paste that comes in many different colors, and you just have to see what brands are out there. I'm using right now just a little bit, I'm using the lid of my white acrylic paint and a pencil, and I'm just doing little dots because I felt like it needed a little bit of white. Sometimes things need a little bit of white, sometimes things need a little bit of black. It just all depends, or brown, to kind of make that. And then I was thinking along the lines of the sunshine, and so I have little white dots going out of my heart, which I know is probably really hard to see, but that's okay. You know that they're there because I told you they're there and you just watched me put them on. So the last thing that I decided to do was put a word on there, and I'm using a little stencil with the word love because I love fall. I love the fall colors. I love the coolness of it. The changing of the leaves is amazing. And so it's just really my favorite time of year. So I'm taking a sponge dauber with a little bit of acrylic paint. You don't want it too thick because you don't want it to seep underneath. And I'm just dabbing those letters so that I can get my word on there. There we go. And because I don't want it to look like a stencil, I'm going to take a paintbrush, and with the paint that's already on there, I'm just spreading in paint those areas where the stencil doesn't meet, right? So then it looks like it was one word painted on there, love, instead of a stencil. So hopefully that's given you some inspiration to do something creative, something fall-ish, autumn-ish, those fun colors of fall that we all love. Now, I personally am drawn to the reds and oranges, but you might be drawn to the browns and greens. It is all okay. Really, the only thing is to get creative and do what you want to do, okay? So take a time out of your day and get some creative juices flowing, all right? Now, I do want to make a super fun announcement. I have been working for a year now, right, on an art class that I was doing, and really a mastery program. And so I've just finished that. I did send that out in my newsletter that I just finished that class, and I'm super excited of all the work that's come out of that class, and I want to do a showing of it. And with COVID and all these different things still kind of happening, it's kind of hard to do that in person. But also because you are my online audience, and I've always done things in front of this online space, I wanted to include you guys. And so if I did something local, it wouldn't be able to include you. So what I decided to do was do an online gallery. And so on October 8th at 12 noon Central Standard Time, I'm going to do a live gallery showing, like an exhibition, just as if you were going to a gallery. But it's going to be here in the studio, and we're going to go through all the art, and we're going to show you different pieces and what they mean, and how they came about, and just talk about it. And hopefully it will also inspire you. So I hope that you will join me on that day on October 8th at 12 noon Central Standard Time. And I'm really excited. I'm so excited about this project. There are going to be brand new art pieces that have never been seen before. And we're also going to have prints available of a lot, if not most, if not all, of the art pieces. So make sure to join me, put that on your calendar, and of course, join me next Monday at 8 p.m. for Mixed Media Monday. I'm Rita Bearcat, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.